I honestly don't know what's better. Mobu versus Kanmei? Yotunwa saving Sai at the last second? Or Osen saving Kankoku Pass also at the last second? I'm watching the Kingdom anime from start to finish for the very first time, and I just finished season 3. I did have a bunch of highlights. Shueisha managed to pull off one of the most complex strategies ever without even having to be there on the battlefield. He alone opened up a path for Mobu to break through to Kanmei's main camp. And when it's finally time for Mobu's main unit to charge forward, Mobu completely demolishes Kanmei's savage giant unit with ease. Kanmei over here saying he's bored, but for Mobu, he feels the opposite. It is exhilarating, not because he found a worthy opponent, but because it is the first time in his life that he is able to use all his strength. Mobu goes as far as to say that Kanmei isn't strong. He's just been lucky with all of his matchups until now. When it's time for Mobu and Kanmei to hash it out, we get shirts ripping, maces clashing, shrapnel flying everywhere. Mobu is proving he can hang. That is until Kanmei knocks his ass out. A great general's career, a great general's rank. These things don't matter to Mobu. He proves that he is an enigma, somebody whose strength goes against this idea. He is the mightiest man in all of China. He goes beyond just hanging with Kanmei. Nothing matters but the fact that he is strong. And it is so fitting that he claps back by breaking Kanmei's arm. If Mobu wasn't already motivated enough, Kanmei just had to go ahead and cut down Moten in front of him. Y'all have to be with me when I say seeing Mobu crush Kanmei's head was super satisfying. He deserved that crap. I have to admit, Karin is a very interesting character. When all hope seems lost for Chu, she reminds us that the goal has never been to take generals' heads. The goal is to conquer Kankoku Pass. Nobody noticed, I didn't notice, that Karin used the elephant surrounded To's army, made her own grand appearance, all as a smokescreen for her master plan, for her elites to end up right behind Kankoku Pass. She is so damn smart. Let me hear the Karin stands in the comments. Right before Kankoku Pass is about to fall, who else but Osen to save the day? Where did this guy come from? Isn't he fighting another great general himself? What is going on? Turns out, Otto was still chilling in the mountain forts he took from Osen. I can't blame him. He was mind gamed so badly. I mean, he lost 8,000 of his elites that same morning and did the diligent thing. He searched for Osen's hidden army. He tried. And if Otto with his mountain affinity army couldn't find him, of course he'd be terrified. But it makes sense that he couldn't find Osen, because Osen left right after ambushing Otto. What an outright psychological masterclass. I really enjoyed discovering that Osen and Mobu's victories was something planned from the start. Mobu as the spear would go on offense to destroy the Chu army, while Osen as the shield would play defense when most needed. And it worked out great. While the Chu King admits all hope is lost, Renpa, I love it whenever Renpa is on screen, reminds all of us that the biggest threat in the coalition army has yet to make a move. The most dangerous man in all of China has yet to make a move. The one to slay Oki has yet to make a move. None other than Roboku. What a glaze fest, but he's not wrong. Roboku suddenly appears at the southern pass, the sly bastard. We just knew he had to have something up his sleeve. He wasn't going to let Chu sell him. From the very beginning of the war, Roboku has been sending these troops little by little so that no one would notice. He even placed the Jiao army right next to the southern pass to make this strategy possible. Everything he does for a reason. Then someone else suddenly appears at the southern pass, not an enemy, but our great general Duke Hyou. But how? This should be impossible. It takes so long to get there from Kankoku Pass. Turns out, Roboku blundered. It wasn't his detached units that were caught, it was the 1,000 men he requested from each state that were caught by Duke Hyou 4 days earlier. What a blunder. But still, impressive from Duke Hyou. Here we go. What else does Roboku hit Qin's greatest instinctual general with than a highly sophisticated tactic, the Ryudo? This tactic not only sent all the soldiers in different directions, it also continued to reduce the number of troops that were grouped together, essentially choking out the Qin army slowly. What a frightening tactic. Just when Roboku thought Duke Hyou was done for with his flags destroyed, he shows up before Roboku's very eyes, having overcome his supposed genius tactic. I expected nothing less from our greatest instinctual general ever. With Duke Hyou surrounded and now having to duel Hoken, Shin tries to charge his way in to help, but Duke Hyou does his best All Might impression. Shin, you're up next. This is no place for your flame to die out. Onward to Kanyo. I leave the rest to you. Type B. To put the cherry on top, Shin inherits Jukyo's shield when he throws it to him. Epic, but bittersweet. Jukyo low-key gets low-diffed by Hoken and loses his arm. And even his last-ditch effort got deflected. It hurts so bad, he really is done for. But at least he gets a consolation prize. He said, "I'm taking your arm with me." His final words, I'm sure, are words that Kingdom fans will never forget. Do not let your fire die out. If his death wasn't already sad, they hit us with a flashback. Jukyo could have been one of the 6 great generals of Qin, but he never cared for it. That's badass. But it's so sad that Shin will never get to share that great general of the heavens level wine with Jukyo. Wine better than Jukyo had with Oki. Heartbreaking, man. Seeing Shin crying his eyes out, screaming out Jukyo's name over and over. I can't blame him at all for crashing out. Heck, he had to hit him with a mean hook for him to see reason. Shin finally arrives at Sai, super depressed, just to find Sei sitting there aura farming. It's nice to see Sei being that light for Shin, who just lost one of his dearest mentors. Seeing Sei again made Shin regain hope after such a loss. A horrible, horrible loss. This is definitely one of the most emotional moments in Kingdom. Shin, who was usually Sei's rock, has to lean on his best friend for once. But there is still hope. If Mobu is hype personified, Sei is hope, all light personified. Sei now has the difficult mission of turning citizens into soldiers. And to say the start he got was already good is an understatement. Everybody burst into tears just from seeing him. I like how he starts his speech by highlighting the victory at Kankoku Pass without ignoring their reality. Roboku and Hoken are on the way. Sai is the last stand. If we lose here, Qin is no more. There is no next time. We have to fight. He said much blood will be shed, but that's no different to all of our ancestors who shed their own blood to create the kingdom we have today. Your father and your father's father. We must fight because we don't want our loved ones to become slaves. Our children and our children's children. And we are the only ones who can stop it. Have to admit, Sei has a way with words. And there we have it. All it took was for one kid to be passionate, to say that he will not have it. He will not stand for his mother and little sister becoming slaves. And Sei could not be prouder to fight alongside this young man. What more to inspire the Sai citizens than a brave child and a selfless king? Everybody then finally gets on their feet to say that they will fight. Doesn't matter if it's elderly, injured, women, children, all of them want to fight. Sei is such a badass, man. Our entire history will be determined here. We will fight to the end. Children of Qin, we will defend our kingdom. So damn epic. Just when it looks like the Sai citizens were about to lose all their fanatical morale, one of them says they won't have it. Shin then gives his own speech. One more push for good measure. It's probably better to call it trash talk than a speech. He pretty much tells Roboku to shut his ass up. He said, Roboku, you're talking nonsense just because you're scared of us. The Sai citizens will not fall for such obvious rage bait. This city will not fall. On the first day of battle, when it seems like Heki's wall, the East wall, is already in trouble. Really, Heki? Have no fear. The Jukyo army soldiers are here. It's not even close to an actual get back, but we'll take it. They'll take it. Absolutely demolishing every Jiao foothold. We're on to the next day of battle, and Shin finds himself in a duel with Fute. That isn't even the highlight for me. For me, it's the Kyokai cameo. I thought it was so funny that Kyokai made Shin bow down to get her advice. But because of that advice, Shin was able to defeat Fute handily. He beat his ass. And really? Fute wants to become one of the 3 great heavens of Jiao? Another night, another Sei speech. This is Sei's equivalent of throwing hands of boxing. He'll give a clean straight to the heart, a mean hook to the dome. I'd be hella inspired too if I was a Sai citizen. He's also for the kids a family man. Where he really shines is when he speaks to the Jukyo army soldiers. These are men that have already resolved to fight to the last without regard for their lives. But Sei will not have it. Your role goes beyond being the mighty core that makes up Sai's defense. Who else but you men here will be able to pass down through the generations the heroics of Jukyo? He's right. Only the men who have shed blood, sweat, and tears alongside him. So live. Sei says, do you hear me? Live. Sei is way too good at giving speeches. If that wasn't already enough, Sei wants more. He personally takes to the front lines. What a risky bastard. But because he's on the front lines, everybody regains their morale. This citizen really said it's no time to be dead. Not to be tired, not to be demoralized, but it's no time to be dead. What? I mean, he is the king. The most impressive part of the South Wall's defense is that they are the only ones that don't receive reinforcements from Kyoku in the north. Shin is putting in work. You know what's over when Shin's eyes go completely white. No Jiao soldier is safe. He's not stopping until the job's finished. Job finished? He doesn't think so. so? I don't think so. Holy freaking crap. To think that the 8 days Shobun-kun was talking about was the amount of days it'd take for Yotenwa to arrive with her mountain army. And she arrived in 7 days earlier than expected. That's best girl. That's loyalty. She's so badass. Just adding on to the already long list of badasses in Kingdom. She's the Lord of Death. Yotenwa deserves to aura farm a little bit before saving Sai. Seeing Riboku's anguish is so satisfying. Yotenwa is quite literally smoking that Riboku pack. She single-handedly ruined the coalition's outcome. And if we're talking passion, Yotenwa's passionate. Her army's passionate. Slaughter these guys. Fold these guys. We love Yotenwa. I've lost count how many times Shin has been knocked down by Hoken and gotten back up. He's fighting Hoken for the 3rd time. The audacity that Shin has to tell Hoken that he's a fraud, that he couldn't actually defeat Oki alone. He said his blade is like a pebble compared to someone like Renpa. Shin isn't all talk though. He gets a hit in. He said if I can't hit him directly, I'll knock away that big ass glaive of his. Also, Kyokai cameo. Once again, I'll take it. I'll always take it. I love it. But Shin actually pushes Hoken back. And not only that, he dodges Hoken's signature attack and uses his own. He slashes Hoken's face with his jump attack of doom, a classic. The fact that this wasn't a lucky blow by Shin is insane. He genuinely drove him away. No one can believe it. I can't believe it. Sei and Ten can't believe it. And who else but Bihei to start hyping up Shin? When one of Riboku's commanders tries pressing Yotenwa, she claps back. Cry more, y'all lost. Accept the L. Hold the L, bozo. Then she said enough talking, kill these clowns. Cinema. She keeps farming too. Hey, she deserves to. Seeing everybody go nuclear after winning was beyond hype. With the end of this glorious arc, of course, means the award ceremony. Who else but Shin receives the last of the special recognition awards? The man who slayed Mangoku, defended sides of the Lars, and drove back Hoken. That was so cool. But seeing Ohon hate was even cooler. Toe loves it too, but Rokuyomi stays hating. I always love these award ceremonies and promotions because they remind me of One Piece's bounty updates for Luffy and his crew. Shin is officially promoted to 3,000 man commander. Amazing. 3 more ranks until general. The icing on the cake to this fantastic feat is Shin making all 3,000 of his troops do a roll call. That's it. And then it's time to roll out. What a funny guy. On a serious note though, getting the former Jukyo army soldiers is a huge boon. With the coalition invasion wrapped up, it's time to wrap up Kyokai's revenge arc. I'm just saying. All of us already know this, but none of these guys hold a candle to Kyokai. And she isn't even using her priestess dance. I mean, Kyokai probably showed out because Yuren rage baited her by mentioning Kyosho's severed head, which admittedly is nasty work. Here comes the reason why Kyokai is OP. In this duel against Yuren, she masters the priestess dance, reaching the absolute depths of the technique and finally gets revenge for her sister. Yuren had it coming. This might be top 3 getbacks in Kingdom. Kyokai finally spun back after Kyosho got jumped. This next part is another one of Kingdom's most emotional moments. To think that her original plan was to end her life after getting revenge. But now that's changed. She won't be joining her sister. It's bittersweet, but she will continue to live on, even though she thinks it's almost unfair that she's leaving her sister behind. If anything, she resolves to live life to the full for both of them. We come to the end of season 3. How else to close off this wonderful season than having Kyokai finally return to the Heishin unit? Our lieutenant is back. She's home. Who wouldn't be happy, jumping for joy that she's back? Maybe 10. Job's finished and her new life begins. Shin said it best, we've all been waiting. If you made it to the end, thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you guys thought of this season in the comment section below. Also, it would mean a lot to me if you guys love a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe for more videos like this.